talking of which, let's get crack-lucking. Right. Coach Helen for You Fit Studio. You. I'll wear it like a badge of pride. I've not had that much coffee, I swear. Because this is like week 1 billion of lockdown in May, when I lost my mind on caffeine. Not had that much. Right. Today is about accountability. Now, this one, balancing my book here, this could go wrong. There we go, right. Now, I've done this live because, let's just say, and I did this as a client as well, by the way, sometimes we all get into a point in our journey where we believe we've got it all handled, right? It may be that you're a couple of years in, actually you've done your first drop in weight, you're really happy, yada yada, you just didn't even think about training anymore, it just happens, your food's on point, you've got the right balance, you may be maintaining your weight, and there's kind of some time, although to be fair, this happens quite a lot through the journey, but this is probably the most common time, and there comes like, I don't want to say complacency, it's more the fact that we really start to perceive we're super disciplined, right? That we have it all handled ourselves, and that we're going to nail our goals repeatedly with no issue whatsoever. Now, the thing is, and I am actually doing a live on this this particular topic. I'm just writing it down to remind myself because I'm doing this in December, no less, because I know. We'd have to wait until then to get the insight in this. Then what happens is, we get quite confident, I don't want to use the word cocky, all I just have. We get a little bit complacent, we think we've got it all handled, and then suddenly, from almost nowhere, some negotiation starts to happen. Now, in terms of negotiation, which is going to be a topic I'm going to cover specifically, in terms of negotiation, what does that mean? Well, let's be honest, we're never as hard on ourselves as someone else is, generally speaking, when it comes to habits. Now, we might be hard on ourselves from a psychological point of view, as in telling yourself off, etc. Actually, though, when it comes down to doing an action, there's often a bit of negotiation. Negotiation may sometimes go in a direction where you don't end up doing the habit. So what happens is, we don't stay accountable to ourselves, in as much as if I promise myself I'm going to do 10,000 steps, or I promise, let's say I promise my coach I'm doing 10,000 steps on a Monday, and I don't follow through with it, right? Then, or myself, let's just recap that, I've done that as a proper example. If I say to myself, right, with no external support, and say, oh, I'm just going to do 10,000 steps and don't do it, nobody knows. Nobody knows if I did it or not, only I know. If I'm negotiating with myself, though, about doing things, I mean, I'm making it sound like slightly psychopathic. You're not. It's a normal human behaviour, but what's actually happening is you're letting yourself off the hook. So you're saying, actually, it's okay. Don't worry, you'll do it again tomorrow. Yeah, I'll have a go at it. Yes, I'll do it. Now, often what happens when we're not keeping ourselves accountable, what will happen is we say, I can do it later. Do something else, right? So I might exchange it for something else that actually I think might be more fun, right, in the moment. I do less of something. Like I might say we do 10,000 steps and do 3. In my head, I've done steps though, so I'll still negotiate with myself and say, well, you know what? Yeah, it's alright. I did 2,000. Yeah, that's cool. I went to 10, but you know, it's alright. Or just don't do it at all, right? So don't do a habit at all. So what do we do this negotiation with, or this lack of accountability with? Not keeping ourselves accountable. We do it with pretty much most aspects of health and fitness, really. This is where you can slide into. So it'll be food, training, behaviours, whatever they are. We're never as hard on ourselves than if someone else holds us accountable. Now, I think of examples where, I use examples where I do it. If I really want to be held accountable, I will send it to Sam and say, Sam, I need to do this by X, Y, Z, right? Or some clients will know this, that I will hold you accountable and me accountable to the same habit. So if you do it, I'll do it. And I'll show you I've done it, you show me I've done it. So you hold each other accountable. And sometimes some people see that as, a failure. Like I tried to do it on my own. I thought I had it all handled. I thought I could be disciplined enough, and actually I failed because I needed to go back to having that level of accountability. In reality though, it comes down to pure human behaviour, that we are all the same, right? That's why I contact Sam and say, Sam, I need to get this done by, and I know that purely by telling him that's what I intend to do, that I want him to keep me accountable, and vice versa. And the thing is, it's a natural human behaviour to negotiate with yourself. The thing is that why is it important, right? Why is it important to be held accountable? Why is it important to have a coach, or to verbalise that stuff, or to cut out negotiation with yourself? It's important because if you do what you say you're going to do, you will feel empowerment, right? I'm doing Alive and Empowerment as well. Segue. I am doing Alive and Empowerment, what it is and what it means. However, you feel empowered because you've done what you said you're going to do. You follow through on a commitment to yourself and to potentially your coach to ensure that you are sticking to your ultimate goals. You smash through consistency, right? So if you're going to be consistent with something, what does that do? That builds a behaviour that still comes back to empowerment. You're committing, right? You're committing to doing what you say you're going to do. And this is the thing. The reality is that, and we joke about this, but it is actually the truth. Having a coach keep you accountable cuts out the angel and demon, as some people call it, in your head. So some people say like it's negotiation, right? It's the same thing, right? Angel, demon, negotiation, it's the same thing. There's two voices. No, it really makes you sound like you lost your mind. It's not. It is just natural to negotiate with yourself, but it's angel and demon. Now, how your coach, or how I keep my clients accountable, I might be both, right? I might be the angel and demon at the same time. I might be full on demon. I might be full on angel, right? It's whatever that client needs to be held accountable at that time. And that's the important thing, right? That the accountability is right for you, because you have to follow through and do what you say you're going to do, to feel empowered, know you're committed, smash through consistency. Why is it important then to have a coach, right? Again, to knock out the negotiation, let the coach be your angel and demon, right? Let you decide which one they're going to be to some degree. You need a coach to keep you accountable, to remind you of what you're doing and why you're doing it, right? Because so often when we start to get complacent, or we start to feel, and use the word demotivated again, demotivated, right? You need somebody who says, oi, where are you, Sam? I'm going to repeat the words that Sam got, right? But he has a coach to keep him accountable. He posted that inside the internal group, so you guys can see how he's held accountable. Well, that was pretty blunt, right? So why? To keep you on track, to remind you of why you're doing something, to remind you what your goal is. And why, another reason why I brought this up is that actually so many people will slide into the position of what's the word to use? I used it earlier, but not necessarily agree this is the right word. Clients feel they failed because they're not doing what they say they're going to do to themselves, and then they don't reach out to their coach and say, I need help to be held accountable. They just continue to say they're doing something when they're not, or B, they don't actually ask for the help that they need to be held accountable. So they don't say, actually, I need you to keep me accountable, right? And it's almost like an acceptance into relapse and a change cycle, right? So it's almost accepting that this is how it is. I failed looking after myself. I won't keep myself accountable, and I won't reach out and let my coach take on that role, right? The angel and demon, because it would, if I have to ask for that, it means somehow that I'm not got far enough in my journey, or I should be able to do this by now, and all the rest of it. When in reality, like I said earlier, it's absolutely natural as human behaviour to need someone to keep you accountable, and it isn't always, in fact, in most cases, yourself, because you will always find wiggle room to negotiate, no matter what it is, what situation, who the person is, how much they're aware of it. There's a percentage of negotiation that means that they will always leave themselves a percentage to let themselves off the hook, right? So the coach needs to be able to nip in there and say, nah, come on, enough's enough, get it done, right? Get done, because they need to keep you accountable through that process. And I think too often people let that slide sometimes. And the thing is, if you're actually listening or watching, thinking, actually, I need some more accountability, or maybe even, this is the honest conversation part, right? Because I have this with clients. Actually, if I'm not holding you accountable in the way that you want and need, tell me, right? Tell me if I'm too angel or too demon. Tell me if you need a balance of the both, right? Tell me that you need more or need less, or because getting the balance is right. Tell your coach, right? What do you need from an accountability perspective to make sure you're doing what you say you're going to do, that you're not going through your coaching process with your coach saying what they'd like to hear, but knowing when you leave the call or leaving the video call with us that perhaps you're not really fully committed because you're not really getting accountability or agreeing or accepting that you need the accountability to get to where you need and want to be, right? That's a beautiful thing about UFit, let's keep remembering the patch, right, is that we'll keep you accountable. We'll keep you accountable that we think you need to be. Also, it's really important that you're part of the process. And you say, actually, do you know what? I need it too often, right? Well, so one of the feedbacks we get loads of, right, at UFit is always like more consistent of going to working out than any other place. Really kept on track, right? Always reminded of what I'm trying to do. But aside from all the community and family stuff and everything else, which is also there, right? I cover that in my loving life, right? But actually, what's the other common themes? Really kept on track, never been so consistent, always come back to it, really finds a balance, able to work out who I am as an individual and keep me on track, right? All of that encompasses one word, and it's accountability, right? You are held accountable by us, right? For that to work, though, you need to be able to articulate what it is that you need to be kept accountable for and to, and actually accept it, right? Because without it, unfortunately, you will negotiate with yourself. And if you don't know what that means, I'm sure all of you, it's like that moment of like, shall I, shan't I? Shall I, shan't I? That's the negotiation. If you started the negotiation with yourself, you know that I'm going to make an 8 times out of 10. 8 times out of 10, the shan't I will win out if it means not doing something towards a habit or a behaviour or a goal. That's a big statement. I know people message me going, that is not true. However, if you think about it, you've opened the negotiation, right? If you don't think about it and you just do it, you're not opening any negotiation, and actually you're going straight into doing what you say you're going to do, right? So that's why I've got clients doing a lot of accountability at the moment, right? All kinds, right? And I actually want to make clear, what does accountability look like in terms of from a physical, and some people are like, I don't know what accountability looks like. I'll give you some examples, right? Ensuring that I see photos of steps when somebody says they're going to do steps, and then following up the next day if they don't do it. Ensuring somebody sends me photos of food that they say they're going to send, or following them up the next day if they don't send it. If a client says they're going to train 3 times a week, I'm going to check to see if they've been on in our online groups, right? I'm going to check if they've attended. I'm going to check the attendance sheets. I'm going to ask them to check me into the attendance to make sure that I can see in a notification they've been there. Ask them to send me a photo after they've worked out. I will ask them to, God, there's so many. What else? Just anything that I will know when somebody hasn't done something and ask them to do it, right? That's what accountability looks like when it's on that particular level, right? If someone says they're going to train 4 times a week, right, I need to follow up and make sure they're training 4 times a week, or ask them what's happened if they can't, right? If a client is unable to post their pictures, find out what's happening, right? Because things happen, right? But I need to keep you accountable to that. So what does accountability really look like in detail? If you want to know the action, that's what it looks like. It looks like me saying, right, you tell me you want to get to a size 10, and do you know what? I'm seeing behaviours where actually they're not supporting that goal, or actually fantastic, actually you're really doing it. But mainly if I'm keeping you accountable and your actions don't match your goal in terms of what you're looking for, then accountability is saying, do you know what? I'm going to call you out and say, let's have a chat and find out why, right? If you are a member and you haven't seen the video of Sam being called out, have a look, right? I mean, can't repeat the language, right? Well, I can, I'm choosing not to. Have I done that? Yeah, actually I have. Yeah, do you know what, that's what accountability is like. Sometimes it needs to be on that particular level to keep someone on track. And I'll say why do we keep people on track the way we do at UFit? Because we're passionate about you guys getting a goal, right? Ultimately, the only person that succeeds is the person doing the work, right? Hands down. Right. Oh, hey, let's recap for the late arrivals. So, as much as we think we're really disciplined, as much as we'd love to think we're really disciplined, as much as we may believe that we get there through the journey, at any given time, actually, what can happen is we start to negotiate. And actually, when negotiation starts, we're telling ourselves, we can do it later. I can do it on Monday. Love that one. I'll start on Monday. Yeah, start on Monday. Oh, I could do a live on that. Let's start on Monday. Or January. I could do that in December, right? Oh, I'll get back to it in January. Maybe you won't, right? I will do it later. I'll do it on Monday. I'll do something else. I'll do less of it. I won't do it at all, right? If I'm saying it to myself and not really getting it out into the world, I'm not asking for accountability, because actually, when it comes down to it, can I keep myself accountable 100% of the time, every day of the week, every week of the month, year? No, as a human being, no. I don't think anybody can as a human being. 100%, right? 100%. What does that mean? It means that we'll negotiate not doing things like food, training, our behaviours, our habits. We'll negotiate about how much we do of them and when, right? Because we can, because we're just doing it secretly inside. So what does having a coach do for accountability? As I said, makes you feel empowered because you do what you say you're going to do, rather than keep secretly saying and keep not getting it done, right? It helps consistency. It keeps you committed to your goal. It takes out, right? A coach takes out the angel and demon, can take on the role of either, whichever one gets it done, right? I mean, most clients would probably say we're probably on the demon side. However, I beg to differ because I've got my own halo today. However, truth be told, different clients need different levels of accountability, right? We're here, all right, to give you a daily, weekly reminder of why you're doing this and what it is you want to achieve, because that's what we're here for, right? Accept it, accept that it's part of the process to be held accountable. It's no sign or judgment on not being successful in what you're doing. Whatever stage it happens at, you need the accountability. There's no right and wrong. We all need it as humans. We all need to be held accountable at times, right? And what does that look like? Well, you guys know, if you're members, you get it all. You get the calls, the texts, the videos, the groups, everything, right? All of it, all of that feedback that you guys gave us about why we're great is everything we do about accountability to keep you accountable, to do what you say you're going to do, so you feel great as human beings, by the by of losing weight and feeling healthier and moving better and all those fantastic things. Actually, keeping somebody accountable makes them feel that emotionally they are succeeding because they have that empowerment, right? And that's why it's great. And I really welcome people to say, keep me more accountable. I need to be held accountable to this, Helen. I'm like, yeah, let's do it then, right? Now I know this is what you want and what you need, and this is what we're going to work on. Let's do it. Let's make the agreement. And if you are a client who's like, I need it, right? And I'm not accepting it, and I'm not admitting it, and I'm not letting my coach know. Or if you're someone who's not working with this and you need accountability, because so many people do, it's like saying, I'm going to the gym. I said that, I said to myself, I'm going to the gym 3 times this week. I'll start on Monday, right? If you are not working with UFit, then this is the kind of thing you want to listen to, because it gives you unique insight into why we are so popular, because we keep people accountable and get them there. So, as a change of plan for tomorrow, slightly sad about it, but it's okay. It's not going to be long delayed. So we're looking at stress and weight loss tomorrow. Do join me for that. It will be at 5 as standard. And as always, have a lovely evening, and I will catch you tomorrow.